a treasure that you will take home today. It's a treasure that you will take home today. Home today. This tea secret in your pocket. Take it home today.
May your dreams be ever fair. May your dreams be ever fair.
Ever fair, ever fair. May your dreams be ever fair.
Very good. This is completely improvised upon any suggestions that we should ask you for or at any time. So we shall each ask you. How about we each ask for something, one thing? What would I maybe be holding in my hand during Shakespearean times? What could I have here? I was thinking of something. I see it. It cannot be an iPod, for that does not exist. So anything. What could I? Something that would go into. Oh, she's got it.
Bananas! We have no bananas.
Okay, but I shall use this. Or perhaps someone had to be the person who discovered the banana, so I shall use that. I like it.
And how do I earn my coin? What is my profession in this time period in which we are?
Are you a bard?
A bard.
Are you going to sing me a song?
A bard, one who sings songs.
Yes, this is a good profession for him, yes.
I'm a bard,
Okay.
indeed. And what is my attitude towards life?
You really want me to say that in the company? I don't care.
You shall not That shall not be said in
Keep it G-rated.
A
There are
Randy
children's
bard.
present.
G-rated bard, indeed.
We're just beginning.
A show improvised in the style of Shakespeare.
We
Come
need
on,
all
come on.
suggestions. Please come forth.
My fair ladies, what am I afeard of?
Him stabbing you in the back and cutting your throat and taking your purse.
And taking my purse.
Being robbed.
And you, fair ladies, what garment might I be wearing from these times?
Something you have seen perchance today?
Come on, girls.
Corset?
Corset. Good answer. Wearing a corset. Thank you.
All right, very good. Let us repeat back our suggestions before we begin our play.
I am a bard, one who makes songs. G-rated songs.
My greatest fear is that he will betray me and stab me in the back and steal my purse.
And I shall at some point hold a banana in my hand.
And I am wearing a corset.
Very good.
And so it begins.
Snakes in the ale again. Good sir, here is your ale.
Indeed, I am a sir. Do you not see my fine, manly figure?
Yay! Lothario, you put your coin for me upon the floor?
I like to see thee bend over to pick it up, lass.
Ooh, it was cold. It went down my corset. Oh, Lothario, always coming and drinking and thinking of wild schemes.
Indeed, my head is as full of schemes as the sky is full of clouds. Why, I do dream daily of the great deeds I shall do one day.
One day, and when should that be, Lothario?
Why, that shall be a day that is not fit for drinking ale. For why waste a good day doing deeds when there is ale to be drunk?
Well, you are a fine customer, and therefore I shall keep it flowing like a river.
I am your best customer, lady. I shall see thee again tomorrow. Ha-ha. The ale, however, does make me stout. You know that within my manly garb, I seek accoutrements to help me retain my svelte figure. This must never be known. 'Tis a damnable secret for a man to hold. And yet I am overly fond of the ale. So a man must do what a man must do.
market is glorious, is it not?
It is quite, yes.
And thou art glorious in it.
And thou shalt do your bidding and purchase your wares, and I shall do mine and purchase my wares separately.
Indeed, my fair wife, thou art so fair as to be fair to this fair. For it would not be fair for one to withhold from thee that which thou did want. For that which thou did want in thy heart thou should have, and what thou havest or have not, thou should have.
My fear is like a steel piece that lives within my chest that he knows not of. For night after night I do dream that though his smiling countenance comes to me in day, by night he turns on me and bequeaths me with sword to the back. But yet there is no daily reason for me to feel this way, and yet so I must continue as if it is not so, and yet my dreams do seed this feeling more and more each night.
Ah, Guinevere, looking at your face smile upon me, I know that I am treated well.
Yes, yes, my dear fair lord.
Sir, a garland for my lady, my fair lady. I have heard you say that she deserves much.
Maybe too much, I think. It is a garb of many colors and finery.
Is your lady not fit for such finery? Is she not too a lass of many hues?
Indeed, sir, thou art quite the salesman. Sell it to her, then. Sell it to her. I bid thee.
You bid me pay with my own coin for this
Nay!
beauty.
I had her convince you that that is something that would fit you and you would like.
My lady, and therefore he should be. The periwinkle of the silk by singing her song does reflect the beauteous color of thine eye. The red is not more red than thy ruby lip.
This is like the favored puppy that I do adore.
The purple matches the sleepless hollows of thine eyes. I can see that thou dost lie awake.
Yes, it is true.
She is a discerning shopper, so I think you are not doing well, sir. You must try harder.
Indeed, lady. Let me put it on you, and you shall feel how the garment makes you feel. You will see how the ruffles enhance your shoulders.
I do feel it thus. I feel it thus, fair sire. What thinkest thou?
I believe I have sold the garments, sir.
I believe you have, and therefore I shall pay thee.
Thank you, my lord. It was a symbol of thy love.
Indeed. For if thou should want it, thou should have it.
And yet still this feeling lurks within.
Oh, you're the manager.
There are clouds overhead and clouds in my heart. For though I am a prince, I am not living up to my father's expectations. He said, you must discover something. You must become something. And therefore he shoved me out of the castle into the cold and said, find it. I know not what it is that I am to find. For to hear slights in this world, I am losing my mind, I am mad. Perhaps this is what he wants me to find. I should find reason. Or perhaps wit. I shall become like the fool in the castle. Or perhaps I shall find love. I know not where this journey shall take me, and yet I shall journey day and night until I do. And I shall disguise myself so no one knows that I am the prince. For if they know that I am the prince, they shall try to make it too easy. And nothing is easy in such toils of life. Anything good worth having is worth a fight, and therefore I shall become a peasant and find what I need to find. Yes, I am set on it. It is in my mind.
A good day's drinking, indeed. If I cannot sit till I unfasten this damnable thing. Well, Lothario, thou hast spent another day in the pub. It was a good day, a pub-like day. Indeed, I have quaffed many a glass of ale and talked of the great deeds I shall do. 20 minutes. What What think you of the wench that runs the pub? I think she be a fair lass that hath an eye for me.
Mighty fine, mighty fine.
Mighty fine indeed.
Lothario, I see thou art bulging as usual from a day in the pub, swilling ale.
Bartholomew, thou chidest of things thou knowst not of, for thou art a sober man, and a sober man tis like a dull fool. A sober man is like a leaf upon a tree that will not wither and turn bright colors in the autumn, but clings to its branch with tenacity.
A sober man is one who strikes clarity in his mind and the mind of others. For I do speak, and those do listen, do hear.
Huh? What?
He makes no sense to me, for I am far gone in my thoughts. What think you of the lass that runs the pub?
The lass that runs the pub, thou art coveting her.
I like her,
Indeed, for she is comely.
and she pours a good glass of ale.
You would do well with her.
I would, and yet every day have I spoken to her of the great deeds I shall do, and every day finds me yet again in her pub, those great deeds yet undone. My ale belly growing ever larger until my corset can scarce contain it. I thought today that I would pop a button in her face.
And what is the last deed that thou hast bragged to her thou shalt do?
I've said that I shall find a prince and make a man of him.
Then thou must do exactly that.
Oh,
For there are so many princes in this land, and none of them are a man. Thou dost know this. And so thou just wander about until one finds one, and do what thou dost.
Indeed. But that would involve going far from the pub, Bartholomew.
You must choose if thou would still be one who boasts of things that they never do, or one who does things that they boast of.
Indeed, for the deed done and boasted of is better than the deed yet undone and still boasted of.
Indeed.
However, what if one goes to do the deed and cannot accomplish the deed? Then there is nothing to boast of. I think 'tis better to talk of deeds one has not done, for they are always accomplishable.
Thou could be the one who fails at the deed, or the one who just stands and looks at the woman in the pub, dreaming of her. Shall thou dream, or shall thou take action?
Chide me into action. Oh, I love to drink my ale. I feel a fire growing for this lass deep within my large, capacious belly. I will do this deed. I shall find a prince and make a man. Nay, I shall find 10 princes and make men of them. Nay, I shall have me an army of princes.
An army of princes! Huzzah!
I think I would do well to find one to begin with.
Now, Mother, I do have questions to ask of thee.
Hey, I see it so, and yes, there are chickens to be fed, and gruel to be made, and you are lounging upon the green like a princess.
Yea, 'tis true. Mother, sit a spell with me. Can your bones do it?
A quick spell, but then back to the work, my girl. Such dreams fill your mind, and there is much to be done. Oh, this feels good on the ground. I see why it calls to you, my girl.
Mother, dost thou forget that I have left my house and that now I am married and live with my spouse?
You are here. You feed the chickens every day.
When I visit, yes, I shall feed the chickens. But Mother, I come to you today with questions deeper than my heart. For it feels to me that I have this marriage, but I feel it not within. I do not know what to do.
Girl, sweet girl, I know of which you speak. You are married for convenience, and we do it so to begin with. Yet this is the way of the world. Methinks thou wants love of the fairy tales and the storybooks.
Yes, love. That is ago, it was not fair of Papa to give me such a huge dowry for my wed.
Oh, very good. This will help me buy more chickens because I believe I forgot to feed them.
Let's feed them now.
The seeking of princes is a tedious business. I have looked high and low. They say the young prince from the castle is sent forth by his father to do great deeds. And yet I cannot find him to help him do them. But I have had me a thought. I shall find me a bard and have him write a song of my great deeds. For there is no need to do the actual doing when there is one who will sing of it. Ah, here is his shingle. Bard for hire. Good bard, come forth.
Sir, what dost thou want?
You are a bard.
Indeed, I have song for any condition, any occasion. What would you like, sir? For my wife doth purchase garments that I must pay for, and I do this with my singing.
Indeed. Well, I will have a song about the great deeds I have done.
And what great deeds have you done?
I'm going to find a prince and make him a man.
Hast thou done this yet?
Nay, but thou shalt sing it and inspire me.
I shall sing of it, and this shall inspire you to do it.
Indeed it shall.
And what is thy name?
My name is Lothario.
Lothario.
Yes.
Lothario.
And in my song, make sure I am a comely man, thin belly.
Oh, Lothario, he wanders near and far. Oh, Lothario, he sees a prince here and there. Lothario, he brings them in when they are just the boys. But by the time they leave his stead, these men are men and all. Lothario, a man of men, all know of his deeds. His girth is wide, of which he does hide, and there is no need.
Yes.
Bravo! To the story remarks about my personage, I like thy song well. There is a chord.
Indeed, and this is half the dress that my wife did purchase today.
Then, here are 3 more to go and sing on every street corner. For if I cannot drum up a prince by my own choosing, your song will bring one to me, I am sure.
Indeed. Lothario, Lothario.
Indeed, 'tis a peasant. Just the person I was seeking. For I need to blend in, and I could learn to blend from this very peasant. For he doth look coarse and ragged in his way, and I need to learn such a walk. Look how his belly doth sway and jiggle like a bowl of jelly. Yes, I must take my stilted walk and learn this. Good sir! Good sir! Good day to you.
Good day to you, lad.
I wish to travel with thee.
Indeed, lad, I am not of that kind.
No! No, no! You mistake me. I do not mean to be with thee in a romantic sense. I mean to travel with thee, for I see a pack upon your back as if you were traveling forth, and I am as well. And it is dark and stormy, and there are creatures in this forest, and 2 is better than 1.
Indeed, lad. Tell me, wilt thou become a man?
Yea, for my father says I must become a man, and I know not what he means, for I have the parts of a man.
Oh, by my life, it is the young prince! I thought I recognized him. He that was sent out by his father to become a man. Why, the bard's song has worked! It was scarcely left his lips before this young man has come to me. I shall teach thee how to be a man, young sire. Fear not, thou art under the care of Lothario, a man broad of girth who needeth no corset to hem him in. I will teach thee drinking first. 'Tis a manly skill to have. Help to the pub.
Very good.
My husband is not home, for he doth sing upon the corners of every street.
Lothario, Lothario.
And yet I am ready for my sleep. But for some reason I want to keep my dowry close, to sleep underneath my pillow. Thus he will not know. Your husband is not too interested. There will be a nothing. Your dowry is not so. What dream had I that came into my mind? 'Twas like a presence, right here in this very room. I heard a voice, hear it now when I'm awake. Nay, 'twas a dream, I fear. My own terrible thoughts are ruining my marriage. And yet I hold my purse close.
Hey, chase it, lad! Chase after it! Oh, God, I smell a pub! The very scent of it! Another pub! The lad learns quickly. I shall have him a drunken sot by the time he is 18.
I see you have brought a friend with you today. Good sir, Lothario, I'm not. One for you and one for your friend.
Indeed. He is a shy lad.
Hey, this is not the friend of which I speak.
Oh, you know not, lady. I have now 10 princes that do follow me to learn to be men. This is but the latest.
Oh, I do drink it well. How do I know who amongst you is the true prince?
Ah, that is to my credit. You cannot tell them one from the other, for I can turn a prince into a drunken man, and a drunken man into a prince.
Lothario, Lothario, and here he is right now, with Prince in tow, with Prince and tow. He feels just like a cow, but he teaches them to be the men, and yes, they learn to drink. And when they've consumed their ale, of course, then they better think. Oh, Lothario, I have been to every corner and every pub and every castle and every street corner in the entire kingdom.
Ah, indeed, you have done your job exceedingly well. Here, take my entire purse. There's a coin left in it for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You have enough to pay for your wife's garments, I take it.
you. Indeed I do. Indeed I do.
Sir, I have learned to drink the air.
Yea, verily so have I.
I have learned to find the air.
I have learned to smile at the wench when she comes down the street and give her a fair compliment and slap my thigh like it is a horse. And I have learned a swagger. I have not yet learned the duel, and I know of one such lass that wants it. And therefore, in this very pub, I say we fight! That's true!
Indeed, I knew 'twould come to this. Thou starts turning princes into men, and sure enough they want to fight. Very well, laddie. Play my way out of it. Swordsman in my day. You know not what you face. Help me up. Looks a sword for me. Just fortunate the wench does keep these swords on the wall of the pub.
Ah, it is sharp upon the top. Perhaps a padded tip, for I am a beginner.
Nay, art thou a mouse or a man? Stand and fight.
A mouse that snuck out of the castle was kicked out of the castle.
Well, you shall return to the castle a mouse no more. Thou shalt be a veritable sewer rat when I have done with thee.
Ah!
That's it, lad. She has gone to the back room. She does not like it when we fight in the pub.
Oh, nay, but when she sees you with the sweat upon your brow in such a manly way, she shall surely fall for thee.
Indeed, lad. Thou hadst the right of it. Go, fetch her quickly, that she may see me with a manly sweat upon my brow, my doublet all unlaced, and my fair belly quivering with manly muscle.
Lothario, what are you doing in my pub? You bring us swords in here. You are like little boys.
Oh, little boy, lass. A man that has loved you for many a year.
Oh, have you now?
Indeed, I did not feel that I could woo thee when all I did was talk of great deeds. Didst thou see yon lad that came and got thee?
I did.
Didst thou not think him a manly specimen despite his youth?
He was.
Come, indeed, 'tis my doing.
Your
You will not
doing.
find a manlier prince in the kingdom thanks to me.
Lothario, you are living up to the opposite of your name, for you are doing something with your life. Well, I do find this most unusual, and for some reason I am drawn in, even though I know your ways and what you have been before.
Hey, lass, I cannot tell thee that I shall change, but I shall have legitimate things to boast of.
Well, come in the back with me, and I shall give you legitimate things to boast of.
Oh, fair wife,
Fair Lord.
I am happy as of late, for my purse does have coin in it, and yet there is something here that I feel that is not as it should be.
Yea, I feel it so.
Love thee.
Dost thou love me?
Indeed, hast thou not seen all the garments I have purchased for thee?
Yea, I do like my new vest.
Just
It'll
now.
keep me warm when the wind doth blow.
Dost thou not like the song that you sing me at night to rock thee to sleep? That it seems like I have to sing on and on and on, for thou dost not sleep easy.
Nay, I keep waking and thou hast to sing again and again. For I do have thoughts about thee, I know not why.
Thoughts of me?
Yea. Tell me things to beware of.
Oh,
It is a feeling here that dwells within my heart. I know not where it comes.
fair wife, how may I unburden thee from these thoughts? What thinkest thou of me?
I shall tell thee true.
This is the bar that will bring you to me.
Notice his fair and ruddy complexion. My love, 'tis in the night that thoughts come to me that tell me not to trust thee. I know not why, for thou hast not ever done anything against me.
Thoughts of the night. And at which hour do these thoughts come to thee?
Precisely at the hour of 2.
Gentle wife, there's something I have not told thee. I did have another wife before thee. And at exactly 2 a.m. one night, the robbers did come to our house, and as I fought with them, my wife did accidentally take my blade. She must haunt this house.
And thou must feel so badly for her loss.
Indeed, I did at the time, but then when I met thee, all I felt was love again, and I have done whatever I could to try to make thee love me, but I see that my secret is out now, and thou art hearing the voices of my dead past wife.
Indeed, his lord hath terrible troubles. His dead wife doth haunt the house. Have you heard, my prince?
I have heard that she clangs and clatters about, crying strange words, oranges and bananas.
Shouldst I believe him, or should I hear mine own heart? What doth thou say for me? Then I think that we should visit yonder woman in the wood and find a spell to clear this up, this matter of this ghost. For it doth haunt me and plague me, and the secret
We shall speak with my ex-wife, for the woman can conjure anyone, 'tis said.
Lad, see, others have troubles far worse than thine. You are ready to go unto your father and claim your rightful place.
This last part of the journey, my good friend Lothario, I must do myself, for that is how it has always been done. And therefore,
Indeed, for you have helped me to a good wife that runs a pub and adores me for my manly ways and given me legitimate things to boast of. I thank you, sire.
oh, sire, I thank thee, for you are my true friend, and I shall call upon thee and have you come to the castle.
Nay, come for an ale any time, my lad.
And so I shall. I feel stronger and more invigorated now, as if I could scale the very walls myself. And I fear I shall have to, for I do not have a key anymore. And yet, though I walk like a man, and I talk like a man, and fight like a man, and love like a man, I feel there is something yet that I am to discover. Something unique and special. And I know not what that is. Perhaps, upon my journey, I shall find it. The sleep o'ercomes me in these woods, and I cannot go one leg further, for the castle is miles farther than I thought it would be. And I am not used to walking. I have people that I hire to do that for me. And therefore, I shall just for a moment lay my head upon this mossy bank. Just rest my eyes for a moment.
Best herbs are gathered by the light of the courting moon, 'tis said. Ah, here's a fine batch to take back to me in my potions. Sense. Someone is coming. Someone with a troubled heart. Find it! Find it! I must find it! Who goes there? It is us, Lady of the Woods. We seek your help. Oh, 'tis the bard with the merry voice and his lady. Come in, come in, come in. What can I do for you?
We have heard that you can conjure anyone, and it seems my ex-wife, who I have accidentally killed while a robber was in the presence of our house,
It is true. Tis all so true.
is haunting my present wife. We wish to speak to her and make her dissuade her from this continued haunting.
You know what you are asking for. To raise a troubled spirit is a serious thing.
I have a coin for thee.
I do too. How troubled. I haven't slept for there 10 years. No worries. No worries. Potion for you.
Oh, serpent thou dost have.
Must milk its venom.
Can the audience have a taste?
Hold out your finger. Be careful, it is very strong.
Guinevere,
I want to talk to you later.
I am so sorry for how thou didst pass. I did have nothing but love for thee. Please leave my wife alone. I believe this is for thee.
I've taken my spot. I'm so sorry, my lady. I did not know that thou were there.
Oh, it is a troubled spirit indeed. Your wife must fight her.
I feel faint.
Fight back.
Fight.
Hey, woman, if you would have your man for yourself, you must fight the spirit.
The two women I have loved in my life fighting over me. It is horrible and yet gratifying in some strange and honorable way.
Seems to me it is the subject of a fine song. There's somebody to write it.
The new wife, the old wife. One is a ghost and one has life. They fight for me, but I want one to win. And there she goes, biting again, just as she does while we were in bed. And this biting goes to my head. So slap the old one, slap her silly, and she shall leave us willy-nilly, and she shall leave us willy-nilly. And on and on and on they fight. We sit and watch the entire night. They have such energy and they have such verve, and both of them have such lovely curves. I love them both, and this is true. And now they do both fall, they do, and both of them are on the floor, and both of them have I wife no more. Old wife.
I did not see this coming.
I was trapped. My spirit was trapped. My voices were true. And now I have been freed. It was a curse had been placed upon me. For one was to come and take my place, and until she was gone, I could not return to thee.
Well, I have lived with the guilt of a dead wife for so long that I can live on with the death of a different wife. That is also my fault.
It's not your fault, but it is anyone's. It is mine. And I'm sure she was very fine, and yet we shall just roll her right off this cliff into the river, and we will think of her no more.
It is true, I did do everything to please her, and she never did trust me all these years, except for in the very end. It does make me feel bad, a little bit.
Exactly.
She has left a fine hat behind.
Oh, Mary, I shall have it, or we shall burn it, and think not of her anymore.
Not of her anymore.
Good luck to you both. And thus it was the tale concluded. It was obscure, a bit occluded. The bard hath now his old wife new. Lothario hath found love too. The prince.
A banana!
Yes!
Father! Father!
My son, you have returned to me.
Father, I have discovered something most amazing. 'Tis in a bunch, and this is one.
Indeed, it hath a manly shape. I believe that thou hast accomplished what I set thee to do, lad.
Verily, 'tis true. I have discovered and called it banana.
Banana. 'Tis a fine name, lad.
Father, have I made thee proud?
You have indeed, my son.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a completely improvised show based on your suggestions, so there's nobody to blame but you.
We'll be here tomorrow at 1 and 5. So
Where's the tip jar? Tip jar. Tip jar.
Oh, very sweet. You know what we do have? I'd like to find out.
I need to contribute to the coin sack. There you go. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. You have an email list somewhere.
We shall be in the Fringe Festival in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, that was so funny.
What?
I have to pee. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you would like to find out about our shows. Oh, if I only had money in my pocket. If I only had, if I only had, if I only had money in my pocket. If I only had, I am dreaming of 1,000 ducats.
I am dreaming of 1,000 ducats.
1,000 ducats, 1,000 ducats, 1,000 ducats. Oh,
what
what will I buy?
what will I buy?
What will I buy?
What will I buy? With 1,000 ducats, with 1,000 ducats. I could have whatever I want.
I could have whatever I want. Whatever I want.
What would you buy with $1,000? What would you buy with $1,000? What would you buy?
Horse.
Oh, excellent. I shall take that as my suggestion for the show. A horse. What else should the other players get?
Let me see. Tell me, am I a maid or a man? I'm going to be a maid, all right. Am I fair or foul? I'm fair. And am I young or old? I'm young. I'm a fair young maid. Thank you.
Okay. And a horse is something that I shall come across.
And for me, what would my mother tell me?
Be careful who you marry.
Be careful who I marry. Thank you.
And can I have an emotion, please? An emotion. Yes, any emotion.
Like fear or joy.
Angst. Angst it is. Thank you. So let us repeat our suggestions.
I am a fair young maid.
I am seeking a horse.
I must be careful who I marry.
Angst.
These are your suggestions, and we will use them to spin our play. A completely impromptu play in the style of Shakespeare. Never before seen, and will never be seen again.
Captain, we are hitting the waves and hitting them hard. I am securing the rope, and yet we move back and forth and back and forth.
Laddie, heave your back into it, for if we sink, we shall be at the bottom of the sea.
Oh, yea, and there are many a bucket that I doth feel.
Bail! Bail, and the ship will surely sink.
Oh, it is exciting and mighty, and yet I have not the stomach for to be a sailor.
The boat doth reel and retch until I do retch too.
Aye! The mast! The mast! Look you toward the mast!
I am a prince, and all should seem good with me and well. The land is well, the people are quite happy, they do pay their taxes, and yet there is this angst that I carry in my heart. My angst is a sword that doth pierce my very body and doth cut into me and make me bleed. My angst is a mosquito that does buzz around my head, making noise that does drive me crazy and does make me not know what it shall make to be sane again. My angst is like a blister on my foot that every step I take, it doth bring me pain shooting up through my entire body, and yet I know not what this angst is from. For the people, they do love me. Do they not love me? Do they not love me? They say they love me. I heard love over there, and yet I know not what to do with this angst. And so, for an ale I shall go to see, perchance, if that should take away this angst for a time or two. We shall not know.
Mama, I'm so sad. My father, the king, is dead.
Indeed, it is a sad affair, girl.
It is so sad.
My father is dead. Ah, well.
We need to be strong, for our country needs strength in our rulership.
Indeed. Indeed. Daughter, I must speak to you of something.
Yes.
This morning does become you well, and yet I feel it is time for you to marry. For the kingdom is without a helmsman. With thy father's death, you are our only asset, for we know we are a simple and rather poor kingdom. You must be careful whom you marry.
Yes.
For the very fate of the kingdom lies upon it.
I must beware, for many will try to wed me to get our goods and rule this land.
Indeed, it is true, daughter. They are already applying at the gates. I have had a mere 50 suitors apply for thy hand.
50.
Yes, but I am screening them, and only the finest shall I let in.
Thank thee, mother.
Now, what is thy advice?
I must be careful whom I marry.
For the fate of the land depends on it.
Yes, and thou shalt vet each suitor.
I shall. And vet them carefully I will, for I must have my daughter wed before the moon is full. If she does not wed, the kingdom is like to fall into disarray. The suitors I have found are yet a homely lot. I hope for one to come from far away, who will sweep her off her feet and off our rocky poor shore, and take her where her rich nature deserves to be.
Captain, I see you not. Sailors, I see you not. I am the only one washing upon this very shore. Oh, sweet land! How I have longed for thee! Land which I can feel between my hands. Land that I could plow and create a farm. I could have a horse. A horse that I could ride. Yes. Oh, no more.
Good sir, who are you that stand upon the shore and speak so strangely of land and plowing and horses?
Oh, I am Eagerous. I come from, well, yon ship at sea.
I see no ship at sea, young Eagerous. The waves are calm and still, and there is no bark upon them.
Oh, I know not how many hours have passed, but I did come from a ship upon the sea. Thou must believe me, fair maiden. What is thy name?
My name is Kelpanora.
Kelpanora?
Yes.
What a beautiful and unusual name.
Oh, I was named after the fair seaweed that does feed my family. I gather it daily. I have gathered seaweed every day for the last 3 years, and I have never come upon a man upon this shore.
Oh, I think she is like a vision, like a mermaid from the sea. Kelpers. What an odd and strange name. And yet, I am somehow strangely drawn.
Here, you look hungry. Munch on this.
I have never had such a thing. It is wiggly and green.
It looketh strange, but it will nourish thee.
It is salty from the sea.
Indeed, we are a salty people.
A salty people. I do like this. A salty girl who seems to have a strong spirit. Yes, I shall do what I can to befriend her. Might I help thee? I shall collect. I am very fast at learning things.
You are a very strong young man, are you not? Here, give me the seaweed. There is a carcass of a sperm whale landed down the beach. If you would drag it home, my family would eat for a month. I am too frail and weak to haul it by myself.
I shall try. Okay, yes, I shall do it for you. If there is nothing else I shall accomplish, it shall be this.
Yes, to grab it by the tail, for the flippers off will fall off.
Very well. I shall hie myself to the whale and bring it to thee, for blubber shall be yours.
Oh, goddess of the sea, you have surely heard my prayer. Every day I come to gather the kelp for which I am named, and I have dreamed that I should find a young man to wed. For all the men of our isle are sad and salty sailors whose eyes do ream like the very salty sea, and the lines upon their faces tell of their many voyages. But this lad is young and fresh and newly come upon our shore. And he hath dragged the whale carcass out for me. Oh, I must not move too fast lest he think me too hasty. And yet, sure, my prayers have been answered.
"'Tis true that I have had an ale or two. 'Tis true that I shall maybe have more.
'Tis true that I am the prince.
Your Highness, your father seeks you hither and yon.
Oh, Striculus, always finding me hither and yon. What must I do to escape my father?
I do not understand why you would escape your father. You are the prince, and 'tis not seeming for you to be consorting in the pub with wenches of this ilk.
She is a good wench. Look at her, shapely and of smiling face, young and fair and pretty on the eyes.
Wench, take thy poison hence. The prince will go with thee.
Oh, Striculus, lead on and I shall follow, for my father hath need to yell every day, and yell at me he must, and so scold me he will, and me I shall
Not take you to him. He has enough worries on his mind to worry about a prince who flagrantly disregards his duty. One who doth mope about as though he were a teenage misfit instead of heir to the crown. There, I have done.
speak above thy place, thy does.
Indeed I do. For it doth make me wondrous wroth to see one such as you, who hath every advantage. You are fair of face and firm of limb. You are a paragon of men, and yet you mope about and cannot shake this darkness from your soul.
Don't you see that because I am so fair, I have everything, and yet I know not why I mope about. This angst I do feel in my heart, it does eat at me, and the reason that I have no reason makes it even that more unreasonable. Help me, Striculus. Help me.
Put your arms above your head.
What?
I shall strip you of your princely armor. I shall rend your shirt. And undo your laces.
I look like a pauper now.
Smear some dirt upon that fine face of yours. There! Go into the world if you are so set to be miserable in it. You might as well be one of the miserable ones with dirt upon your face and dung upon your breeches. Go! Go!
I have nothing.
You have nothing, and from nothing you shall learn to be happy.
I have nothing but the beer in my belly and the sorrow in my soul. We shall see how this goes, for it might unfold well for me, or not.
Indeed. Sorrow will not fill a man's belly. I hope he shall have a belly full of his sorrow before he is done. And perhaps the king, my lord, shall have a better son for these my actions here today.
Each night I do hear the crowds louder encroaching upon our kingdom, and I have but this weary sword to defend us with, for no man has taken his rule to be by my side to hold the strength that will keep us safe. I must be brave alone anon, for my mother hath not the strength left in her limbs. If these marauding armies tend to come closer, I will have to fend them the best I can.
Oh, daughter, we are so beset. The last suitor hath left in a pit because you have rejected them all. I do not know what to think.
Thou toldst me to be cautious, and none of them were true, mother. They all had the glint of gold in their eye.
Oh, what shall I do with my lamb?
All I know, mother, is we are not safe.
What is this? Thy father's sword?
Yes.
Art thou a young lad to play at swordsmanship? Thou art...
I shall protect thee, mother. If they come as near, I shall plunge this into their chest.
Thou hast thy father's fierce spirit, lass. Why, I do believe me, thou couldst defend the kingdom.
'Tis but bravado, mother, but I shall carry it forth until I meet the one that can do this in my stead.
Daughter, that is it. You must carry forth. In fact, you must go forth from hence, for I do fear for thy maidenly safety thou stayest. The armies are coming, and they will not bother an old woman like me. I must send you out into the world. Keep ever my advice in your ear. Be sure you marry well. One who will be worthy to return and claim your father's throne.
I can't not go to the world like this. This is like a target waiting to be kissed. Nay, I must go in disguise.
Here, find a headskirt. We shall put a cap upon thy head. Ah, here, one of thy father's old vestments shall serve a turn. Quickly, quickly. And a cap upon thy head. Tuck in thy gorgeous hair. Hide thyself. But forget not thy maidenly heart, and bring home one who's true and worthy of thee.
Nay, for what I know, just like one's hand must fit within a glove, when that life is true, one will find the love.
Take it with thee. Godspeed.
2 weeks without a drink on the road have I been. I have been lucky that people have given me alms and fed me. I have killed a deer that did feed me for several days. Boy.
Yes, I am Eagerous.
Eagerous, dost thou have work that needs to be done here? Something I could do to earn a piece of bread or a bowl of porridge?
Aye, there is always work to be done on the farm. I just got work here myself. For there are horses here, and stalls to be mucked, and horses to be fed.
And I smell a rotting whale.
Yes, 'tis true. There is a rotting whale in the field. 'Tis most curious. The people here are quite strange and in love and enamored of the sea. For they use this whale, the fat of it, to make the tallow for their candles and to feed themselves in the winter.
It's quite ingenious. I have not heard of a people that did such a thing, but who am I but a wandering poor boy?
Eagerous! Oh, you have tended the fields quite well. The whale is well rotted, and soon we shall spread him over the fields to make them vertically green. Why, who is this?
This is Kelpanora. She is the mistress of the farm.
Kind maiden, I am Ephra, and I look for any way to serve and be of service.
He needs a job.
Well, we are but a simple people, Sir Ephra, and we have work for Eagerous, and yet we shall find work for you too. For we are a generous sort, and thou dost look very strong.
Strong I am, but meager of means at this point in my life.
We are all meager of means. For we are a poor country and a poor people, but we are rich in love and laughter.
Every word I do hear from her mouth is like a balm to me. For it is so true that when thou hast nothing, there is a sharing that happens in the heart, an opening, a light from the darkness. And more of this light I may have. So this I shall do, I shall work. Work shall I, and whatever she commands. What shall I do?
Thou canst drag the carcass of the whale about the fields.
Drag the carcass about the field.
Indeed, for as you'll see, our fields are dry and full of straw.
I shall do this.
It is hard, but you can do it.
I have set him on a useless task, merely to test his willingness to work. Oh, look how he drags the whale carcass to and fro. He is very strong.
Yea, he is very strong. I fear he is stronger than I.
Oh,
Is this, milady, some sort of test?
oh, nay.
To see who will be the better worker, and I shall not have a job?
No, Eagerous, you are a good worker and you love the horses well, and they love you. A girl must amuse herself somehow. Good sir!
You think she takes kindly to this one?
You may stop. It was merely a test to test thy willingness to work, for there are many vagrants who do wander the land, and they would eat our food and give nothing back.
Indeed, I could be one of those vagrants, but your humble heart continues to open me, for I have something here which I had not before.
Oh, come inside. We have a pot of fish stew for it. And I shall bring you some, eagerness.
Fish stew. That sounds wonderful.
There's something strange that has become me. When I do wear these clothes of other gender, I do feel more courageous within my bones. I have routed out where all the enemy camps are laying, and I lie in wait to hear their plans. Yea, I will tie my steed to this friendly tree, lay out my blankets, and here beneath the stars shall I sleep in peace. I fear not, for something has changed in me. I feel brave, and all will be well with thee. What doth my eyes see? My fairy eyes spy a lad. And yet I know not if this is a true lad, for I see a sword, but yet no sword. I see locks, but these are long locks, hidden underneath a cap. What is this, man or fair maiden? Or one that is betwixt and between? What shall I do for good fun? For fairies live for nothing more than to create mischief on one. I shall speed this journey. Yes. This eye of lute upon thy lips, and with it you shall soon awake and feel a strength within, and one shall come to love thee. I know not whether it be man or woman, but whatever thou seeks, you shall find it upon the morn. And so it is, because I blow my horn.
It's several months since I have sent the young prince forth into the world, and there has been no word of him. His father doth miss him. I have said he is on a journey, but how long can I keep up this pretext? I can only hope that he is learning something and relieving the terrible angst that did oppress his heart.
Striculus,
Sire,
my son hath still not come home. Dost thou know something about this that thou hast not shared with me?
yea, verily, sire. I did take the prince and shame him indeed. I rent his garments, I put dung upon his pants, and smeared his face with dirt, and sent him out into the world. I cannot deny it.
And for what foul purpose would thou do such a thing to my very son?
It's not a foul purpose, my lord. May I speak frankly? You have...
Thou art speaking so frankly, I dare not hear what else might come out thy mouth, but speak.
Thou hast calmed that boy unmanageably. He doth mope about the castle. I have sent him forth to live, to find the world and find his way in it. He will be a better man than when he returns. I will not say if, but I am sure he shall come back. He hath your inner strength of character, despite his melancholy ways. I know that he will come back a better man. Oh, do not wreak your anger on your poor servant, for all I did in care of you, that you might have an heir who was worthy.
This I know is true, Striculus. And yet, if he doth not come home, thou hast done so in error.
Indeed, and if the error be mine, you may strike my head from my body.
It may come to pass, Striculus. For though I am fond of thee, and and thy mouth that sometimes speaks beyond thy position. I miss my son.
Will return, sire. I do believe that inside the prince's heart there is a place of joy, and he must find it on his journey.
Indeed he must. We all must attempt such a journey.
I know it is here somewhere. Oh, good horse. Here is the cap that I lost. Horse, seest thou what I see? 'Tis a fair maiden, dressed as a man. Stay here. Fair maid, for I see a velvet skirt that is looped, and I shall not be fooled by this. Fair maiden.
Oh. What taste is this upon my lips? 'Tis something I have never tasted yet.
I put nothing upon thy lips.
Hello, good sire.
I see that he thinks that he is a man, and yet it is really a she. Good sir, I am Iris.
Fair to meet you. I am Polonios.
Polonios, very well. Polonios, thou art dressed in very royal garb. Art thou a soldier in the war?
Yea, I am here to defend this land from those marauding troops that doth invade.
It is most dangerous, for they are killing the whales, and we must stop them. Very well, Polonio. I shall take you to the town, and together we shall round up the other soldiers.
Very well. You are what I've been longing to meet for.
And she is what I have been longing to meet for as well.
Here are the potatoes thou did fetch me to pluck.
Oh, they are fine potatoes, firm and moist. They shall make an excellent meal for us.
An excellent meal from mere potatoes. Who would have thought such a thing when I arrived here a month ago, so swollen of pride and bereft of joy, that potatoes should give me such happiness?
Oh, look, Efron, there upon the waves. Do you see the dolphins?
I do.
They are my favorite fish, for they do caper daily with no thought of care or labor. They have such joy in their leaps and bounds. If I could be aught but a maid, I would be a dolphin.
Would thou be a dolphin? So that thou could frolic in the water without toil and catch thy fish in thy mouth?
Indeed I would. 'Twould be grand to be a dolphin, to feel the water sleek along your sides. Come, we shall jump into the ocean and pretend that we are dolphins. Come,
Indeed.
Come.
I know not why, but when I do look upon my eye, I feel a new feeling that I have not had before.
'Tis Eculus with a maid I know not.
I know not either. Let us watch behind this sand dune.
I know what feeling that she doth feel, but she is suppressing it inside her, pushing a butterfly into a tiny box. But I want her to unleash this box and let the butterfly fly free. How can I convince her to be her true self?
And here I find myself with my hand upon thy shoulder. Kind sir, forgive me. It is a certain closeness I feel when I do gaze upon thy face.
'Tis no matter, I am your sirrah, for you are high above me.
She is a strange-looking maid. She is garbed like a man and speaketh as one too.
And yet she doth not fool at all.
Nay, she does not. One can see she is a maid from her fair cheek and gentle demeanor.
This is our stable. Milady lets me work here. And there are many soldiers that gather in the tavern in the town. And therefore it is soldiers that you seek. Then soldiers you shall find there.
It is soldiers that I seek, but there is more in my heart that I must tell me. There's another thing that I've been seeking for so long, and when I look upon this face, I feel it within me, like a song. Yea, I do long to meet the soldiers, but perhaps we could sit a pace and rest our weary bones and tell a story.
Sit upon this hay pile, and I shall tell you a journey of how I came hence on the rolling waves, with a crashing of them. Our ship broke into...
This is a very long tale, and he is fond of telling it. I think that we should swim further down the shore so we do not disturb them.
Indeed, I have heard this tale 7 times, if not 100.
And it does grow each time with the telling.
The waves grow taller, and the crew gets bigger, and the ship gets smaller.
He should be the captain of the ship, Erlon.
Look how I do hold thee by thy chest. This is unmanly. I must let you rest.
But good maid,
Good maid.
see that thou art a maid. Polonio is not thy name.
Oh, dear, sweet blush upon my face.
Dear
Cannot
sweet blush
conceal
upon
my
face. Can I conceal this rush of feelings that I have when he does look at me so?
Fair maid, thou art so fair. These days, these months I have passed with thee, digging potatoes for thee.
Dragging sperm whales through the field, for I was cruel that day.
They have given me a joy I had not known
Guys are always
before.
screwing stuff.
I feel as if I am being betwixt by some magic potion. I know not which.
Populate the world.
I do look upon thy lips and long to kiss.
Oh, tell me, fair maid, what is thy name?
Tell me my name, for I know not when I do see thy face.
Henceforth, I should call ye Portia.
And Ephron is not my name. For I should tell thee this, that I am actually a prince.
For thou dost have the mane of such a beautiful
Very
horse.
Windsor. A prince, and I have sent thee to dragging sperm whales through the field. I think it is not so.
I drop my garb, I drop my ruse. To be with you is all I choose. Oh,
I drop this garb, I drop this ruse. To be with thee is all I choose, for thou dost give me lift of heart and all that makes me feel so smart.
Oh, what joy!
There is this day. I did not think it would go this way.
Indeed, I know not what to say. But I say let's frolic away.
Yes.
My father shall marry us anon.
Oh,
Indeed, sir.
yes. Shall we be married too in song? This is my new girl, Portia. I have met her on a long and treacherous journey throughout the forest. And he is thou that I have searched all my life.
Who has the true spirit of a sailor that I lack?
And I shall be his wife. Indeed. Thou shalt scarce believe Lord Ephron's tale. No Ephron he, but a prince, he says.
Tis a magical day indeed. And love shall win, and love we shall heed.
And knowest thou that I can be a queen? Therefore 2 kingdoms shall we have, and bring peace to the lands. For all the lads, stranger and stranger. Little did I know when I plucked thee from the water's edge that thou wouldst marry a princess and I would find a prince. I think a song to love is called for. I do too.
One never knows what the sea will bring.
One never knows what the sea will bring.
What the
Sea will bring what the sea will bring. One never knows what the sea will bring.
It might wash upon you a handsome prince. It might wash upon you a handsome prince. Handsome prince, or a king, or a queen, or a king, or a queen. Wash upon you.
What shall be the
treasure that we find?
What shall be the treasure that we find?
The treasure that we find. What shall be the
treasure that we find? A grateful heart and a clever mind.
A grateful heart and a clever mind.
A clever mind, a grateful heart. That is what a clever mind.
Thank you, good people. Thank you so much. What a great audience you are. If you would like to see more shows, we do Shakespeare and musicals and all kinds of different people and characters that come forth. We shall be in the Santa Cruz Fringe Festival this summer if you live in the Santa Cruz area. So look for us in July, or you may sign our email sheet here so that we can let you know of upcoming shows.
And all shows are fully improvised without script from your suggestions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mine are just a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Go sit with Richard.
The waves they crash upon the shore.
The waves they crash upon the shore. Upon the shore, they crash. The ocean upon the shore. They crash upon the shore. And I think should I dare go in? And I think should I dare go in? The ocean, should I dare go in? Should I dare go in?
For I am clad in armor heavy.
For I am clad in armor heavy.
Clad in armor, clad in armor, clad in armor.
I go and down I sink.
In I go and down I sink.
In the
Down
ocean,
I go and down I sink.
I do sing in the
Heavy,
ocean.
heavy armor in the ocean.
Down, down I sing.
It was a sad song after all.
Very good. Shall we each get something to start our play, which is completely spontaneously made up on your suggestions?
So what is something that I might be lacking? Something I might lack. Could it be something of my character?
A beard.
A beard.
A beard. I am lacking of a beard. I shall imagine it so, for I do not have one such as the stud that sits to your right.
Oh, Lord ZZ
That is
Top.
a veritable
Yes.
beard indeed.
Indeed, sir.
Let me see. And as for me, what is a secret I might have? Yes. I'm a witch. Thank you.
And let's see. What is something I could be holding in my hand in Shakespearean times?
Apple.
An apple. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, that shall come in. And what kind of trouble might I fall into? I might fall into a hole.
Let us review your marvelous suggestions.
I am lacking a beard.
My secret is that I am
At some point, I will.
I may fall into a Thank you.
And so it shall be.
I'm not getting one.
This beautiful day it is in this field, for the trees are bright and the sun is shining, and I am but a lad, and the lad I shall be right here on this day.
Border collie.
So fine. For were there a day more fine?
Hey, I have never seen a finer day. A finer day for working in the field, not lollygagging about on one's buttocks.
And working in the field is what I do, sir. Kind father, the work I shall more again, 'tis true. For I am still thy son, and work and toil I do in thy field.
Nay, lad. I spoke harshly to thee, but I did not mean it. For thou art a stalwart worker and a good lad, for all that thou hast not a beard, and thou art yet 18 years old. I do despair me thou shalt remain fresh and fair-faced forever, and no lass shall take thee for a husband, for thou knowest, alas, liketh not a cheek as smooth as her own, but like the roughness of a woolly fellow.
But for all shall see me as just a boy. For father, what shall I do to become a man?
There is naught you can do, lad. You must simply work and toil. Your muscles are strong. Your body is lithe and manly. It is only your face that gives you away. I have bethought me of an idea.
You are shearing so early in the season, father.
It is but a little bit, lad. Here, place it on my face. I shall hook the wool behind my ears, open a little bit for my mouth. And there! Thou hast a fine black beard from this little black sheep.
Does I appear more manly, father?
From a distance, aye. So take care people do not see thee up close.
Indeed, father.
Now,
I
to
shall.
work, lad, to work.
To work. To work we must.
It always had to be positive reinforcement. Discipline did not work because
Oh, who wants to drink us with me here in the tavern? For I have many a tale to tell thee.
Oh, I shall drink with
yeah, it's always got to be
What?
positive.
Good Braggius, thou hast ever a good tale. What shall you tell me today?
I shall say that every day I am the one that earns the finest sheep of all.
Ah, thou art worthy of thy name indeed, Braggius, for I have seen your sheep. They are more like goats. Nay, more like rabbits with extra long hair.
Well, laugh you may, but these sheep will earn me a pretty penny, for they are very funny. For I do breed them so, to have the longer beards and the funny ears.
Ah, they are sheep fit for a fool, then.
Hey!
Fit, therefore, for you.
Tarry not in your drink, for it shall give thee merriment. Ah! I am ready to make more sheep breed with sheep.
Oh, I shall go and watch you, Braggius.
Thou shalt see my sheep shall be the very best of all the kingdom. Come, young one. I shall show you how to do it. Don't be afraid. It's very high, but you shall not fall.
I see.
I'm coming. Wait. You merely hold the branch above you and scooch out on the branch below you. Yes, I can do it. And you reach about and grab the plumpest ones. Very good. Pop them into the satchel upon your back. Yes. And try not to eat them, for the queen hath decreed that Mary an apple picker shall eat her special apples. Oh nay, I would not eat the queen of the apple. Would be a sacrilege. Thou sayest so, and yet it smells so ripe and fresh. Thou art right, I have not smelled a savor so from a mere apple in the village. And it smells like summertime in your palm. And yet, do not eat it. For the queen, she had said death will come to those who do. Very well. Is your satchel full? Yes, it is. Hold thy branch and shimmy down. Oh, the branch is breaking! Help! Do not let me fall asunder! I cannot! You shall fall! I'm falling! Brace myself! Into the deep hole! Oh, it's a very, very deep hole! Oh, Cafanetta! What have you done? I'm afraid I had too much tea this morning! I was jittery upon the branch! The hole is way too deep! I cannot reach in! I shall have to get a rope. Stay thy thus! Although methinks you are not going anywhere in such a hole. I shall get a rope. I'd better eat this apple for sustenance. The queen will not know if I'm in this deep hole.
You are the apple picking lad?
Yes.
If there is aught a humble sheep herder can do, you seem to be in some distress.
Yes. Cafanetta, my new girl, has fallen into the apple hole.
Cafanetta! Cafanetta, thy new girl?
Yes, she is so full of energy. She dashes here and about, and she jumped upon a young branch and it broke.
Is she a comely lass of weddable years?
Aye, she is.
And hath she a swain who woos her?
Nay, for she is hyper and moves about with great speed,
Ah.
and none shall catch her.
Then wait you here, apple-picking lass. I shall call my son. Laddie! Laddie! He is a stalwart young man who hath recently grown a great beard.
Young man,
The lady's new girl, a young Cafanetta, hath fallen into a hole while picking apples.
How deep is the hole?
Does not matter. You must rescue her.
Is it deep enough that she should spot my fake beard, Father?
Nay, it is dark in the hole. She shall not know thy beard is but made of sheep's wool.
it is 5 men deep this hold. You will need thy belt.
This apple is the best that I have ever tasted!
And a rope.
I must eat another and yet another.
You shall hold the end.
Fair
Lower you
maiden,
in.
Help me, please!
thou art hiding behind a cloak.
I am within a deep hole and my cloak hath fall about me.
I have a rope, but I fear it not long enough to reach the depths of which thou hast fallen.
Yea, I can see the end of the rope. It's like a yonder star in the firmament that I cannot touch.
Art thou standing?
Well, it would be a good idea, but my legs have fallen asunder. Oh, and
You shall have to jump in, young man.
I shall try to climb up to my feet. Ouch! Ouch!
He does have a beard, but not much strength.
I shall reach! I shall reach! Drop it, Lois! Oh, I can scarcely reach it, but I shall jump! Oh, I got it! I got it!
She is the best shot he hath yet of getting a wife.
Run, young man. Leave that back on said hole, Cafanetta. Come forward. Oh. Give me your apples, young.
Count those apples well, apple-picking wench, for you know the queen will be wondrous wroth if one is missing.
This is not the profession for you. Methinks there is something else for you, safer. Perhaps in a tea house.
Call on her, lad.
Cafanetta, may I call on thee like the stars do call on the night?
Yea, for the taste of thy lips is sweeter than ever, an apple I didst taste.
Thou did taste an apple,
Not here, only in the village.
fair
Thou smell an
Cafanetta.
apple upon my breath?
No, I do not. Cafanetta, I shall call on thee. Count on it.
I shall be ready.
Ah, son, we shall get thee to a wife indeed.
Not to fall in the hole, sir.
My queen, why look you sad?
Gestorius. You are a fool. For this is not sadness. Merely pondering. I am thinking about the king's rule that there should be no dancing in the kingdom.
Ah, mistress, you fret too much. For a dance is but an idle thing. You'll be fitting of a king. You'll be fitting of a queen. A queen should strut and primp and preen. A queen should not spend her time in idle play, for she hath serious things to say.
But I cannot think. I sit and I ponder and I try to think of serious and deep things to say, such as truth and faith and justice, and yet all I think about is the dance.
You were young when our fair sire did marry you. I fear too young to take on the duties of a queen.
I am only 10 and 6 years. So anyway, you can keep it. Therefore, there are many things I think of, which I know I am not supposed to. Dancing, frolicking, and joy and excitement and adventure. Oh, to slay a dragon and such things that are not befitting of a queen.
We shall go and taste the apples they have picked. That always cheers you up.
Oh yes, the apples. They do bring me such joy.
A different one from every tree in your orchard.
Go quickly, I shall catch them. Just hurry, anon.
My young queen is terribly sad. And I, fool that I am, cannot cheer her. I think perhaps it's time to call upon the darker side of my foolish nature. For before I was a jester, I was instructed in the ways of magic. I shall cast a spell upon the queen. But shall I make her serious? Or shall I make her dance? I shall make her serious, that she will please the king, her older husband. I must remember me the magic. Oh, the queen is young and full of mirth. Oh, make her solid as the earth. Take away her maiden grace and make her dour and sad. Take away the sparkle in her eye and make her think most seriously about the affairs of state and men, and ne'er dream to dance again. The magic is seductive. I have sworn to practice it very little, for it is frowned upon in our land, as you may guess, with a serious king. Therefore, return me to my guise as fool, and watch my magic now unspooled.
My queen, I have news for thee.
You have reason, speak. Be brief.
We have weighed the apple harvest, and it is light.
Light? Meaning someone has snuck in during the night and picked my apples?
We know not what has happened. We only know that the trees do bear fruit in such a quantity each year, and we have, with the help of the apothecary, designed formulas that do exactly quantify how much apple there should be. And there is not enough now to satisfy such an equation.
Meaning someone hath stolen my apples!
It would seem so.
Trusted soldier and advisor, mellifluous. I entrust thee to go forth and find this thief. And when you find this thief, nab him in the night and string him up 1 foot at a time. Nay, even better, make him dance in the middle of the square with goats and chickens all about, with everyone mocking and laughing at him, calling him apple thief, apple thief.
Thou art a cruel queen.
Yes, I have suddenly become so of late. I know not why.
I shall carry out thy bidding. I shall make merriment of this fool once I find him, and we shall bring vengeance upon him.
Yes, vengeance and cruelty. For some reason, that is what I want all the time now. It is coursing through my veins like waves in the ocean, and I am never satisfied, wanting more and more.
Thou hast changed quite a great deal, my queen. I think thou art stepping into thy womanhood, as it would seem.
Yes, that is what it is, stepping into my womanhood. Stepping into my maidenness. Very well. Out of my sight and be gone. Find such thief and do what you will.
By your command.
Indeed, I do fear me I have cast the spell wrongly. I intended but to make her sober and more mature. Ah, I must consult the ancient book of spells. Indeed, I have laid the garment in a circle. I have waved my hands over it. Thus, I have waved my hands over it wrongly. Instead of making her sad and sober, I have made her cruel and vengeful. I must seek a way to undo this magic, lest our young queen descend into utter tyranny and madness.
Caffinetta! Yes! What do you want? Caffinetta, I have been looking for thee. I know, I'm taking care of the sheep now. I know. I have missed thee greatly. For the farm has been boring without thee. And I knew not
I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm busy.
Well, I know you are always busy. But even though you are, I watch thee from afar. Oh, look how she milks the goat.
What sayest thou?
Oh, would she were the goat and I were her hands. I shall speak not more of this. There are children present, and yet it is what I want.
What sayest thou? Hast thou business with me?
Nay, I have no business yet, and yet I want it. I have seen young gentlemen around here with a beard.
Is it so? Tell me more while I get another bucket.
But I do not like it at all. For we have been working side by side for 4 years now. And I was working up my courage to ask her for her hand. And who is this strange man with this fakey-looking beard? I do not trust him. Cavalletta, dost thou have one of your yummy drinks that you make and put in the stein that has the drink that gives me speed?
Yay! I shall fix it for thee now, and I will put a little of the fresh sheep milk in it. It will be better than the milk of the sow.
Oh, the drinks she doth make for me. I cannot stop myself one after another. I need it. Such is like my love for Cavalletta.
This is my drink. Drink it well. It shall do thee well and get you energy. That is what I take every morn.
Cavalletta, say my name. My ears doth long to hear it.
Oh, Sire Gregorio.
That is I.
Thou dost like to hear thine own name. Thou art like the very fairies that like to hear their names named in flowers. But thou art a lord that is quite vain.
Nay, it is merely that thy voice is like a violin. It's like a concerto. Look how fast I doth work now.
Yes, it is good. I do too. But I needs be gentle with these young sheep. Didst thou have another thing thou hast to say to me? It seemed I came for a purpose, and yet I know it not.
I shall be quick. Oh, Caffinetta, I should like to ask thee for thy hand.
For my hand? Yes, but dost feed the very sheep?
Yes,
And touch their little tweets?
yes. Thy very hand that is milky soft. Thy very hand that is full of joy and merriment, that dashes about and gives me the same.
Fair sire, when thy bends down, it makes me want to do the same.
So, it is thus that we shall be entwined, and not you, a stranger with strange beard.
Nay, you and I shall be twain.
My hand I lay upon her cheek,
And mine upon thy ear. And upon thy lips, my precious dear.
Father, I have been calling on Faire Caffinetta, and we have been having a grand time, and yet there is something that I think is a foul in this. For she does seem possessed of drug. There is a hyperness about her that is like ants moving over an anthill, and she consumes this potion that she makes ongoingly, sire. I know not what to do, for I do care about her, and yet I have concern for her well-being.
It seems to me a busy life that runneth about should accomplish a great deal of work, my son.
It is indeed, and yet in the quiet moments, there is none, for she doth blabber and go, and I cannot make her stand still enough to just touch the cheek of her tender face. The smoothness of it, much like the lips of a sheep they are. They are so moist and tender and
I fear that wearing sheep's wool on thy face has given thee strange notions, my son.
And that is another thing. I feel like I have been wooing her with this lie, this sheep's wool that has been placed on my face. Is she attracted to me, or is it to my looks, my manliness that comes in a fake way from the sheep that you have shorn?
I do not know, my son, for the ways of women are strange to me. Perhaps thou shouldst forget this cabinet, and content thyself to be a bachelor, tending my sheep till thou art old like me.
I just know that I shall rid her of this seeming addiction to this potion she have. For when she is herself, then she may choose, beard or not, whether I am to be hers.
It is a good man. Though thou art young in face, thou art wise in thought.
Thank you, Father.
I wish you luck. Enjoy with thy cabinet.
Who are you talking to, sire? Madam, who do you talk to there? I'm just a lady of the village. I heard you speaking. I wanted to know his name, that sire that you spoke of.
That is my son.
And his name is him because I think he not have name.
His name is Joculinus.
Thank you, fair sire. I need to know all the names before I keep it in my letter. Doctor Shelby, thank you very much.
Lady of the names, my son doth love a maid named Cafinetta. 'Tis a strange name with a foreign taste upon the tongue.
I can tell you the very Roman meaning of caffeinetta. It does derive from the root caffeine, which is from a root, it is from a little bean, that when you mince it into pieces and grind it with your mortar or pestle and mix it with a little sheep or cow's milk, it does derive a thing that runs through your veins and makes you not ever the same.
You are a most learned and strange elderly lady.
Let me know if you need any more information and I shall fill your brain. Yes. Good day.
Might you know a way to get this Cafinetta to slow down enough for my son to woo her? For I fear that he is sore in love with her.
Nay, the thing is about this caffeinetta, not the name, but the root of the name, the caffeine. Once you have the bean in your veins, then you must have it every day. And if it is withheld, a major wretch shall thy befell. A sullen mood and grouchy face, it's not a pretty place.
Indeed, I thank you for your counsel, good wife.
And Joculus is his name, right? I needs not forget it, for I am senior of year.
This here is the apple
Appalina the saucy, yes.
picker. It is she who picks the apples. She will know if there has been one missing, sir.
Tis I.
Appalina.
Sire.
This is Mellifluous, the queen's counselor. He says the apples are short this year.
Yea, 'tis true. The apples are short. I have noticed it as well, but I did not want to call attention upon it like a bright moonlight shining down.
Where hast thou noticed them short? On the tree, in the bucket, or in the storeroom?
In the storeroom, and therefore I smell a rat is afoot.
And who has access to said storeroom?
I am the only one that has the key, and that is why I did not bring it forward to you. For you would think that I was the one that stole the apples, and yet why would I do such a thing? For it is my livelihood and my job, and I do not want to lose that.
Appalina, thou art in quite the predicament.
For thou art the one who stores them and locks them in. Hast thou gone in and seen less than thou had put there previously?
Tis the mystery, sire. Come with me, and I shall show thee. Come down these stairs.
Lord, I think she has an honest face. Surely it is not she who is taking the apples.
I know not, but we must question her further.
See by this candlelight. Dost thou see there were 14 barrels,
Indeed, 14 barrels.
and they were all full last night. And see how many are full now.
But 3.
Then how can I possibly eat this many apples? And it is forbidden. And I have never tasted one. I have never had one apple in my entire life. And how could I even carry 14
and thou hast not tasted an apple?
Nay, I have not tasted this apple. I have tasted some apples of sweetness in a different way, of the adder type.
Art thou trying to woo me to garner my favor?
No, sir, I would not try such a thing. For to try is to be willing, and to be willing is to be loose. And I am not of loose lips.
And if yet thou were loose, one might be willing to be loosely with thee.
Oh, a stray apple.
Apollina, I shall tend guard upon thy door, and we shall see who might enter it. And whoever does, they shall be sorry they have done so.
Yes. Hide on the cover of the night in the darkness, and see who shall sneak upon. Who shall win.
Behind the curtain I shall hide, and thou shalt tell no one.
Nay, my lips are sealed, and only to be opened by.
Here shall I lay down a little blanket for my picnic. Nay, here is better, I think, methinks. Yes, beneath that yonder shade tree, for here shall my lover come to visit me. Or shall it be Gregorio, or shall it be Joculus? Oh, I dare not remember which one said would come on this day of Tuesday.
Cafinetta, I am here and without the beard.
Sire Joculus. Oh, what appeareth on your face? It doth appear naked like a very child, not like the man that I did feel so wild upon.
This is my appearance. It is true that my face is like a baby's bottom, smooth like powder from the Gerber's baby, and yet...
Yes, it's like a very buttock on each side of young babies that do on yonder villages reside.
Yet I could not hide my smoothness from thee anymore, for I do call upon thee, and I do have concern for thee, and I wish thee to be happy, and I wish myself to be true.
Thou art undone, let me fix thee. What sayest thou? What hope? Or what is this vision that I see here? For it is Cafinetta with the non-bearded man. Thinkest thou that we should sit here, or on that other side there?
I would just like to see that sit and enjoy the beauty and the splendor. Look out at that tree yonder. So
Oh yes,
perfect in
I have
stature.
many trees like this in my old home that I did come upon.
He thinks he
There
can
were
impress her
elms
with
and
trees.
maples and verily cherries that did give me cherries to eat. I put them on my tongue and it was so quickly the fruit they did give.
Shut up!
Good sir! Back thyself up and grab a sword! For I carry them wherever I go, and I challenge you to a duel! For no one takes hand against Cafinetta. She is my betrothed!
With each strike I do fear that one of my lovers will not be near. For I do love them both. 'Tis hard to pick. For both in troth are beauties to my mind. Romeo is like a steed. Oh, nay, his most delicate of parts. This is a tragedy to our heart.
Calves this year!
Indeed. She is yours.
Yea, it is true. For what else could a maid do? Fair Gregorio, thou art quite brave. Thou didst come upon me when, in need was I a maid. My cheek, such a beloved cheek, and he struck it. Let me strike it with small little kisses. Oh, Gregorio, and thou hast a beard which I do very like.
'Tis merely a goatee, but I am trying.
When it is night, and that's the sun,
Tis night. 'Tis now the time I go unto the apple shed.
I have been taking apples every night, in vain trying to mix a potion that shall restore our gracious queen to her former cheerful, dancing, longing self. There are but 3 bushels left. I fear if I cannot cure her with 14 bushels of apples, it is beyond my simple magic skill.
And now the answer is known.
Ah! Mellifluous, Queen's counselor! It is I! The fool!
Not so foolish, are thee? Sneaking in. How did thou open thy door? You know what this means, do you not?
Sir Mellifluous, listen to me. You must surely have noticed how changed our queen is of late.
Indeed, she is of serious nature, almost cruel. For you should see the punishment that is in store for you now. For you must dance about in the circle, in the town, with no clothing, so that all may laugh at thee.
It is a just punishment, for I have stolen her apples, and yet I did it in a worthy cause.
What would be worthy of stealing the queen's apples and getting upon you her wrath?
Only to restore her to her once loving and gracious self. I will tell you, and trust me with my secret. My mother, as you know, was a wise woman, the kind that didn't cast of spells.
A witch, say ye? Thy mother a witch?
Nay, nay, she was a wise woman who did cast a few spells.
A witch?
Yes, if you say so. But she could teach me but a modicum of magic, and I have used it to try to make our queen a little more serious that she might please her aged lord, the king. But it had backfired and sent her too far into seriousness, and now is she cruel and wanton and would kill people for the want of an apple.
She has protected her grove since her youth, and yet her punishment has grown so severe. I fear for thee, for you know that the townspeople shall be cruel when you walk among them, which you shall do soon.
I know. It is my hope that I know she has great love for me in her heart. Since I cannot break the spell with magic, I shall try to break it with affection. If she were to see me thus humiliated, I think it might soften her hard heart and melt that little seed of cruelty I did unwittingly plant there.
Thou art selfless, for that plan is mighty. We shall see thee tomorrow at noon. I shall take you to the dungeon for now.
It's most strange. My thoughts are not of dancing and of apples and of merriment. They are of war and plague and sad things. And I am not content. Nay, I am full of consternation. A storm is in my brain. It is like a ceaseless wave, and I cannot stop it. Fool, good fool, where are thee? Why dost thou not visit me in my chamber? Come forth, fool, come forth. Oh, advisor. Mellifluous.
Thy fool is in the dungeon, my queen.
Dungeon?
And you-
Why hast thou put my fool in the dungeon?
As for your instructions, my queen, for today at noon she shall walk in the square naked, so that all may laugh at her. For it is she that hath stolen thy apples. Look out thy window now, and thou wilt see. See that wooden box being rolled out. She is inside it now. And now you see the executioner opening the box, and out comes that pink, fleshed fool in the center of the square.
Nay, nay, close the box! Close the box! The queen doth decree it!
She cannot hear you from here. She must dance, she knows, among the people, naked, as the people laugh at her.
Oh, 'tis most glorious, her dance! Oh, look how it gives her glee! She doth not care that people laugh. She is laughing with them.
It seems not a punishment at all, for the townspeople are taking off their clothes as well.
It is true! It is true! Come, queen did love dancing much when she was young and happy. If we do dance for her, it may perhaps break the spell that I have cast.
I shall do it too!
Oh,
Here comes my raiment so I can dance too!
More and more, the entire village is naked and dancing. Oh, my queen. Oh, there's another.
Then I shall as well, for something is lifting within me with the dance. I feel something is shaken.
it's working.
Myself as I was before in the glass. Oh, yay! I shall too, my people!
Yeah, the queen does it too!
My queen, I shall do what you do. We shall be naked in the town square.
Dance, my queen, and break the evil spell!
Queen.
'Tis most freeing and joyous, yay! Let everyone dance and have as many apples as they want.
Have an apple! Have an apple, my lord! What is this sight that meets my eye?
Why, 'tis my young queen, the fool. Mellifluous, the wise counselor, and all the people of the land do dance without their clothes. Oh, me. I am a sad and serious king, and yet to watch my young bride caper so doth lift something in my heart. I fear that I have been too harsh on her, for she is but a girl of 10 and 6 who I did wed. To see her dance, why, she must dance every day if it give her such joy. I shall make a new decree that dancing shall ever be the thing we do within my kingdom. I shall join them too.
Mellifluous, do come forward.
And let me put on my garment, for I have been dancing naked.
I know, I did spy thee in the square.
I was liberating indeed, for my armor is heavy and clad and makes me sink. It makes for terrible trips to the ocean, I would say.
And yet I care not for the ocean, but I care for thee. Wouldst thou take my hand? If it were offered. I know I am but a mere apple maid, and you work in the castle. And yet I have seen something in your eye when we have spoken before.
Woman, she does propose to me, and then in this time, this is so uncommon. She should wait, and yet her apple sauciness is to me like a breath of fresh air.
I know it is not typical, and I do not wait. I imagine you are thinking this in your head. And yet, why wait for something that we so crave? When I thinkest of chocolate touching my lips, do I wait for it? Nay, I taste it. When I want to lay my head upon a fluffy bed, do I wait for it? Nay, I throw myself upon it. When I want to have some mutton, do I wait for it to be a full-grown sheep? Nay, I take the lamb and char it up.
I shall take thy lead, and I shall jump upon thee then.
Yay!
Anon, let us go to be wed.
And thus, good folk, our tale is ended. My magic spell, oh, thank God, was mended. The queen is youthful and doth dance. The king hath taken off his pants. All have come to happy end, save the young lad with no beard upon his face. He doth lie in the graveyard place. But all cannot this happy be. There must be hint of tragedy. We hope you have enjoyed our play. We hope you'll come later today.